Hi everyone, this is Ambafx. Welcome to my weekly Forex forecast. The first one we want to look at is let's check out the fundamentals that play out last week and see how it reacts to the market and see how we can use it to formulate our trade this week. So the crucial one we saw last week was the one that was dropped on Wednesday by Fed, in which they increased their interest rate by 75 basis points, and which make US dollar rally for a very long time. We see a very big volatility in US dollar pairs last week, which make it very strong. And then the one we also saw last week was the Swiss franc, which in which they increased their interest rate to by 75 basis points, but we saw a very we saw a very weak Swiss franc last week, which turns out to be weak because before we saw that Swiss franc is very strong, but when they increase the interest rate, because it comes out as expected, I think that's how we now saw a weaker Swiss franc at the end of last week. So pounds too, they released their interest rate too. Last week was a very busy week in the forex market. It was a very volatile week in the market. So pounds interest rate too was increased by let's say by 50 basis points, and then we saw a very weaker pounds last week because I think if they want to if they want to shape the economy of the Great Britain, they should go aggressive with their interest rates, not increasing it by 50 basis points. 75 basis points may do. Because it was increased by 50 basis points, we saw a very weaker pounds last week, and I think this will still continue to affect pounds as they maintain this kind of interest rate. If they don't go aggressive on their interest rate, we will still have a weaker dollar in the next couple of weeks or couple of months. And then last week too, we saw the Japanese yen, they intervene in their currency, like they buy to their currency. I think since 98 or something, I can't remember. They buy their particular currency then, so which make JPY to be very strong at last week. At the end of last week on Friday, we saw a very strong JPY came to play out in the market because the Bank of Japan intervened in JPY. So this week, from September to October 1, from September 25 to October 1, let's see how let's see the fundamental we have and how it's play out to the market. So we have on Monday we have the ECB president Lagarde speaks. So I think during this speech we'll have some volatility in the European, and on Tuesday too we have Powell speaks on Tuesday too. Just watch out, the time is 12:30 p.m. Nigerian time, and then on Wednesday too he will speak to on Wednesday. On Thursday we have Canadian GDP, which the previous forecast is 0.1, and then which they predict to come out minus 0.1. So the forecast is minus 0.1, and then we have one on SZD2, the RBNZ governor speech. So I think that's all we have this week. And then don't forget that the volatility of last week will still play out this week. We will still have a very stronger US dollar, and we might have a very weaker pounds due to what is happening. And then we'll still have a stronger Canadian dollar and weaker SZD card, AUD card, and so on. So let's check the technical aspect. So the DSY is a is an indicator for US dollar. As you can see, we have a very high volatility in the US dollar. US dollar is very strong. So for now, the next high we can see here is at 119876. If you check the monthly time frame, this is the next high we can see after breaking through this particular high. So we have the next high at 119, but what we'll see this week is that we can see some pullback, because after a very sharp move to the upside, we will likely see a very volatile pullback that you might even think that we are changed bias, but not, we have not changed bias. It's just that we'll have a pullback after a very long move. So any pullback to this particular area will be an opportunity to buy to 11987. So just watch dollar strength this week, but watch out for pullback in the dollar pair. We'll surely see some pullback before we see a continuation to the what, to the upside. So the first pair we want to check is pounds USD. As you can see, pounds USD, we've been selling for a couple of weeks now. If you check my weekly analysis, my previous weekly analysis, you will see that we've been selling pounds for a couple of weeks. Thousands of pips have been making for this what we call pounds USD, because we've been selling all the way from here as high as here. So last week to on Thursday, I dropped something about like we'll have a selling pressure from this side. After breaking this particular level, then it will trace to this particular supply, and I drop it that okay, selling pressure can come in here, and lo and behold, when it comes there, it drop massively, which will hit our target. So let me clear this out. Let's see what is going to happen next on pounds USD. This week we ought to see a retracement. Let's say we can see a weekly level, because if you check this particular candle, it's a very long bearish candle, which means that the selling pressure is very high, and when there is a very high selling pressure, we should see a retracement. So if we use a Fibonacci retracement to catch that particular retracement, we might see a retracement to one of this level. Is either we'll see a retracement to 50% or 61.8 retracement level. If we can see retracement to 50% or 61.0 or 61.8 retracement level, then we'll target to the target at our target is 1.0500 psychological level. So we ought to see a retracement to 61.8, or we might see a retracement to the 100% level. Please just make sure that any retracement you see and a rejection is an opportunity for you to look for a bearish setup. I will not advise any buy bias from now. For now, you just need to just sit down, wait for the pullback before you enter. So let's check out the 4-hour time frame and see where we put our entry. So for now, if I want to put my personal entry, I might wait for the pullback to this particular level of supply before I sell to this level, because if you check this level very well, we can see some amount of supply at that particular area. So I might be waiting for the pullback to this particular area. And if I want to use Fibonacci on the level too, it might be like the 100% Fibonacci level, as you can see. So if I see a rejection at let's say 50% Fibonacci retracement level, I will sell to 1.500 psychological level, or we might see a retracement to this particular level. So in any which way, make sure you use a wider stops, and according to your risk management tolerance. So if you want to trade this kind of continuation, you need to wait, sit down your hand, wait for a pullback to any of this level, then you will do what you want, you sell to this particular area. So we might see a sell bias coming from here, or we might see a sell bias coming from this particular area. So just with any of the two, you do what you enter. So the next one is Euro USD. Euro USD to sell has been selling massively. We've taken some amount of pips here too. So here too we ought to see continuation to the downside, because USD is very strong and we are in an overall downtrend. So I mark this level as my level of entry. So any retracement I see back to this level or this particular level is an opportunity for me to look for a bearish setup to sorry, that was a mistake right there. So to this level or to this level is an opportunity for me to look for a bearish setup to 0.95152, and if this level break, I might be going for, okay, let's check the monthly time frame. If that particular level break right there, I might be going for 0.84958. If we see a break of this particular level, then we're going for 0. But for now, that's the immediate level we can see right there. That is in line with this particular trend line. So we'll still see a selling pressure coming in to Euro USD this week. So what we'll do is that we'll wait for the pullback. When the pullback is done, when we see a rejection candle at any of this level, we see it here, or we might see it at this particular place. So anywhere we see a rejection should be an opportunity for us to look for a continuation bearish setup. So the next one we want to check is USD JPY. As you all know, we have an intervention in Japanese yen, and then US dollar is very volatile. So these two currency pairs are very strong. So what we want to do like this is that we can just keep watching this level. This is the two level I'm watching at. If there is a pullback to this particular area, I'm going to if I see a pullback to this area, then when it touches this particular trend line, then if I see a rejection there, then I might be looking to buy to 152.068. But mind you, we might see something like as the two currencies is very strong, we might see something as like a ranging market at this particular area. Then we just need to keep watching that particular level, because these two currencies are strong. But the bias I'm looking at is I'm looking at a rejection to this side, then a continuation to the outside, which the target is at 151.998. So the next one I'm looking at is SZD USD. As you can see, last week we hit our two targets on SZD USD. It's even past our target. Then this is the target 1 right here, and this is the target 2. It's our target and even our path. So what we want to look at is the continuation to the downside, because we have a very weaker SND and a very stronger USD. We have a very volatile USD there. So this week we might be looking for a pullback to this particular area or this particular area for a continuation to the downside. So these are the two areas you should be looking at if you want to trade the continuation to the downside. This area and then this particular area right here. So look at the two areas for the continuation to the downside, which the target is at 0.5626, and if you check the monthly time frame, you can see that we have a a trend line that is respected at this particular area, which will put the target at that area. So let me delete this target 1 and 2 that has been hit. So we are obviously looking at this particular area for our take profit, which this is the support level. As you can see, we have a support level at this area. Then we should be willing to take our profit at 0.5640. But before then, we'll see a pullback this week. We might see a weekly pullback of the weekly candle this particular week. So that's the two level I'm looking at on SND USD. We might look at the pullback to this area or pullback to this 0.59824. So SND card, we hit our take profit to last week. Most of the trade we analyzed here last week hit take profit. Like 90% of the trade it take profit. So what do you need to be a profitable trader? That's what you actually need to be a profitable trader. So right now we'll still look for a pullback and join the downtrend move. So what we are looking at here is that we have break this level too. Okay, let me check the level on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, we break this level right here. We are broken through the level right here, 0.82. Then this level 2, we have broken the level 2. Then the next level is 0.76618. So what we are looking at is the pullback. We are looking at a pullback before a continuation to the downside, but we might not see a very large a very high pullback at this particular area. We can just see a pullback to this area, or we might see a pullback to this particular trend line. So let's analyze it to this area, then boom to the downside to 0.76646, or we might see a move to the trend line, then we'll have a continuation to the downside. So watch any of these two level, because here we can see that it just consolidates for some time before we have a breakdown. So it might target this we might see a move to this particular supply level right there. I might see a move to this level, then to the downside as I indicate. So what any of this level for your continuation to the downside entry. So that's that about our SDD card. The next pair we want to check is AUD card. If you check this AUD card very well, you see that it has break through this area. We have a break through this particular area right here, and then we have a break of this particular chart pattern right there. So what I'm looking at is just a small retracement to the upside, then a very high to the very and a sell to the downside. So what I'm looking at is this week I might look at a pullback to this particular area, then we saw a sell to the downside. That is a pullback to this area, then we saw a continuation to the downside. So that's what I'm looking at. We should see a selling pressure coming from here. You see a selling pressure coming from here, then we should use this low as our target, 0.87616 as our target. So as you can see, we have a high at this area, we have a low here, then we will also have a low at this particular area. So if I were to put the trend line, as you can see, we have it respect the trend line. So we should see just a retracement to the upside. Then anything we want to do here, any retracement we see to the upside is an opportunity for us to look for a bearish setup to 0.87572. So that's about AD card. So the next one we want to check is Euro card. Euro card too has something similar to AUD card, but AUD card too, we are in a long-term downtrend. If we use trend line here too, we have a rejection at this trend line, then a retracement, a rejection, then a retracement, we have a rejection too. So if we check let's zoom it properly. So here too, I'm looking for a small pullback and a rejection to the downside. If I can see a small pullback to this particular area, then a rejection to this particular target of 1.28955. This is where I'm looking to take my sell signal at this particular area. I'm looking at to take my sell signal at this area, and we might not even see that pullback like that, but just wait for any signal for entry, a bearish setup. So for now, the old bias still remain to the downside. If your own bias is forced to the upside, just wait for the break of all this level to the upside before you make your decision. So the next one is pounds card. Pounds card will break through our targets too. So last week we saw some rally at this particular area, and we enter at this area, choose this place as our target. As you can see, it passed the particular target. So let's delete this and let's check out the next move of pounds card. As we say, pounds is very, very weak. We might likely to see a very weaker pound for the next couple of weeks or months, if there is no intervention or an aggressive rate hike on that particular pair. So we can just do the fib retracement, and then we might enter at 50% level. So for now, we break through the trend line, so we can see a retest at the trend line, then continuation to the downside to 0.45000 psychological level. So for now, we break through this particular trend line, so we can just see a retest to this one, and then to 4500. So if you check the 4-hour time frame, so we might see a retracement to this side or to this particular level. It break out the 4-hour consolidated area here. So we might see a pullback to that level again before we see a sharp decline to 0.4500 psychological level. So the next one is Euro JPY. As we can see, we break through this area when we add the news of the central bank intervention to the pounds. So we test this area back, or this particular supply level at this area, then we target our, as you can see, I'm looking forward to this particular area. I'm looking forward for a pullback to this area or to this particular area before we see we continue the bearish movement. For now, we'll have a weaker. My two favorite pair to trade is USD pair and JPY pairs, because USD is strong and JPY is strong. So we might see a move to this particular area, or a move to what, to this area right here, then you look for a target as 1.35539. If I see a bearish reversal signal here at this particular supply, because if you can see, this is a supply level at this area, so if you can see a sharp decline here, or a particular it might come to mitigate this particular candle at this area, then we saw a sharp decline to 135.334. So the next one is USD card. So USD card, we don't have much to say on USD card. Our target is still there. It's still going to hit. We are still inside in this trade. So our target is at 1.36874. So we'll still come to hit our target. Then I think we have some resistance at that particular area. Okay, we have a resistance. After breaking this resistance, then we can say, okay, we want to target the next particular resistance. So for now, let's leave that particular pair. So let's check AUD Swiss franc. AUD Swiss franc is at support level. We ought to see some retracement at this particular area. We ought to see some retracement to this upside. We might see a rejection at this area, then target the second low at this 0.6145. But for now, you have to be very, very careful of trading this until you, because we have a fake breakout at this particular area, which comes back in. So you might see a retracement to this particular area, and you might see a rejection at this particular area to continue the bearish setup, and the target at 0.61452. So I think the last one we want to look at is the gold. So gold too, it's about to hit our target, because after we saw this consolidation last week in the 4-hour time frame. So let's switch back to 4-hour time frame. So we scalp gold here and we took our profit there. So let's just delete this one. Let's get rid of this one. So as you can see, we have a consolidation at this 4-hour time frame, and we have a breakout of that particular area. So what we are looking at is that we might see a retracement back to this particular area, or this particular area, before we see a bearish setup to 1.612.91. So there's two things I'm looking at here too. So I'm looking at a bearish pressure to come in at this area, or to come in at this particular area. So if you are new to this channel, please help click like and subscribe, and let me know your opinion in the comment section. And then at the description, in the description box, you will see the Telegram group, the Telegram channel, where I drop the live update of all this trade there. You can just click on it and join us to catch pips. And then don't forget to click on the website if you want to learn about Forex. You want to join my mentorship program, just click on the website. Everything you need to do is inside the website. Please have a nice trading week, and don't forget to play safe, and then don't forget your trading plan and money management is very, very important to you as a profitable trader. So click like and subscribe.